This is all Hitches, the Nova Football Podcast.
Yo, tune in, lock in, it's the All Hitches Show. Dash and Dan on the mic, let the Nova tales flow. From the booth to the field, we hitch up the truth. All Hitches Podcast, drop the beat, here's the proof. Dash and Dan in the cut, bringing heat to the game.
All right, welcome back to All Hitches, Nova's #1 football podcast. Coach Mesa, how you doing, bud?
No, I'm doing all right. I mean, we talked about this before, but during the summer, how cold it is in the basement. It is always freezing in my basement, which is
you know when it's not freezing in the basement, Mesa? When a tornado.
Oh, that's right.
Runs through. That's the story of Northern Virginia right now.
I buried the lead.
Then you don't have power when the tornado runs down your street, and it just missed us by this much. I didn't get hit. My neighbor got I don't know if I told you this. My neighbor had a limb fly through the air, rip off the tree, into his house like an arrow.
Oh.
It's just dangling, and it's stuck in the siding. Like it went partially in. It didn't hit a window, in the actual siding of the house.
That's wild.
Insanity. Insane. They said over almost 100-mile-an-hour winds.
Yeah, I mean, I saw. It's weird. Yeah, I mean, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Streets are closed. Our pets' heads are falling off.
Up is down.
I got this battery pack that I got for Father's Day, and
Good
I
investment.
hooked up. Yeah, I hooked up the Wi-Fi to it, and I could have done the show, Mesa. I could have. That battery pack is so key. Despite the power loss, I could have recorded this episode.
By candlelight, maybe.
Yeah, I didn't know that. So my whole thing was, and this is something I don't know if you knew this. I didn't. So because the Wi-Fi, it's all wired somewhere.
Yeah.
And I thought just because I power the Wi-Fi, the modem in my house, I didn't, because the power was out everywhere.
Okay.
I didn't think just powering the modem in my house would mean that I would get Wi-Fi. I thought maybe the power being out somewhere else, one step beyond my house, would prevent me from getting the Wi-Fi.
Oh, but the fiber optic, right? It's a fiber optic. Keeps
optic.
Yeah.
As you know, Chris Montesanti liked the fiber optic gear. Remember, they pulled up and they're like, this fiber optic stuff, it's pretty valuable. And he kind of looks at the guy, and then they robbed it all. So yeah, the fiber optics made it kind of key. You can lose power and you can still get Wi-Fi.
Yeah, we could have filled the show.
Yes, we could have filled the show.
Could have done a live
in the dark. And I saw He-Man, and I know you did too.
I did too, and I enjoyed it. I felt like it was there were some Easter eggs, stuff like that kind of spoke to those who watched good old He-Man and the Masters of the Universe.
We're 80s kids, man. Of course, He-Man, Thundercats, G.I. Joe, that was it.
Yeah, that was it.
And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it thoroughly. It was funny. Skeletor would give his little monologue. I was going to take over the world. And then all the other bad guys would be behind him, kind of side-eyeing each other, going this guy's nuts. It was funny.
It was funny. Yeah, I thought they did a really good job. I like the fact that they had him in the pink shirt with the white undershirt at the very beginning. Oh, okay. Right. Prince Adam. In the traditional gear right there. And they've set it up to have some more, right? They have set up to have some more. So
yeah, so it was good. It was actually a very underrated and solid summer movie. So we're off to 2 thumbs up so far in the summer movies.
And I'll see you at the movies.
At the movies. Now, speaking of 2 thumbs up, we got a guest.
We do.
Camp that is 2 thumbs up.
Yeah. We have Taiwan Mixon coming on with us today. I've known him for a long time. I've known him for quite a long. I've known him since he was young. But yeah, I mean, he's going to talk to us a lot about just kind of his travel, and then he has a lot of really good tidbits about recruiting. I think some things he talks about in recruiting, during there, I think are really invaluable because let's be honest, most parents haven't gone through the recruiting process, right? That the vast majority of them not, and not especially not today's day and age, right? They went. Right. Maybe and that's the other thing he talks about, kind of the difference between when he was being recruited and the way it is now. So I think that he's got a lot of really good insight and he's got a fantastic camp. He'll talk about that as well.
Yeah, I mean, to me, the minute you told me about old friend of yours, Taiwan Mixon, and how he runs the SPE speed performance exposure camps
Yeah.
in Texas.
Yeah.
And I've heard of it. I've seen it online. Some big names go to that camp,
Right.
and he'll go over some of the big names that go to it. I'm like, we gotta have him on. So awesome move. And in a time when parents are going to camps, kids are traveling up and down right now, going to camps everywhere. Some people are wondering. I've been that dad. You're driving. What the hell are we doing? What are we doing? Like, someone make sense of it all, right? Well, Coach Mixon's going to try and make sense of it all.
Yes, he will.
And that's what we need. So let's do it. Without further ado, Coach Taiwan Mixon, SPE Camps. All right, here we are. Joining us now, we got Coach Taiwan Mixon. Coach, welcome aboard.
Hey, glad to be here. Glad to be here.
So, I kind of want to ask you a question, and I want you to think back when you were younger, and can you tell me a coach that you saw that you're like, man, that guy's a great coach. Now, really think back to like when you were 12, and like that coach linebackers and defensive coordinator. I'm just saying, is there any coach that was like that you're like, man, that coach is an amazing coach? I'm just curious if there's anybody who fits that narrative.
I got. Let me take a look. Let me think. I know of a guy. It was this guy. He moved to Virginia now. He was somebody that he was majorly impactful with a lot of energy. His name was Coach Mason. I don't know if you know him or not, but he definitely was one that truly cared about me, man. That's why I always held him close to my heart, man.
Yeah. So that being said,
I knew that was coming. I knew
that was coming. I had to be very specific because if I would have been, he would have said Coach Barry Thomas is who he would have said.
Yeah.
I had to be very, very specific.
But they were package deal now, because hey, apple don't fall too far from the tree, man. So they were definitely impactful on my journey, especially as a youngster, man. Just seeing coaches that really love the game.
Yeah. So again, I've known Taiwan since he was probably about 11. But you're playing Pee Wee, right? You're playing for Coach Louis, right? When the first time I met you.
Yeah.
Back then, so I've known Taiwan since about 11 years old. I was also rather young. I started coaching rather young. I was coaching youth. I was coaching Pop Warner at the time. But Taiwan is a fantastic. It's weird calling him a kid because he's like 40. But he's a fantastic kid, and he's had a great journey. He's written books. How many books have you published now, Taiwan?
9 books are published. The baby, my first book, man, Missing Voids. Yeah. That book is a book for my journey through my whole career and my life, and just how I met I've had awesome mentors in my life, and it didn't stop just after football, but when I needed to learn how to operate in my everyday life, I had a very, very important mentors that those key things to go on even when adversity hits. That's what that book Missing Voids was all about. That's where it started at, Coach.
Yeah. So kind of take us through your football journey.
Man.
Again, coming up in the great city of Long Beach. They don't know that. But but just kind of talk about your football journey, kind of, I know not to go too much. I mean, I know it's also in the book, but again, talking about your way through high school, through college, your recruiting process, going through the whole thing. Just kind of talk about kind of your football journey.
Man, that journey. Well, it starts. Long Beach, like you were talking about, Long Beach, California, great city for football. And also just an amazing atmosphere of great coaches and mentors in that area. What's crazy about that, man, Coach Dan, my senior year, my college coach that recruited me out of high school, at that point, my confidence was low. We had a bad year. So I wasn't thinking I was going to get a scholarship offer or an opportunity to even play anymore. So I'm holding on. I got a chance to play in that fire department versus police all-star game. And boom, I didn't realize, man, that there's somebody paying attention. There's somebody watching. And man, right out of high school, Los Angeles, Harvard College, Wayne Crawford and Patrick Papillon, they recruited me over there. I didn't realize, man, that, hey, college is right around the corner. So they recruited me out of high school for one semester. They gray shirted me. They came in my parents' room. They told me,
Now,
"Hey, I
can you
promise
explain what
you
a
to
gray
put."
shirt is? Because I think a lot of kids out here don't know what a gray shirt is. Can you explain what that is?
So this is basically what gray shirt means. Gray shirt means I'm going to take college credits. I'm going to practice with the team, but I'm not going to suit up for games. I'm basically a practice dummy on the scout team. That's what a gray shirt is. And my clock doesn't start. So I was taking classes. I got an early start on college, but hey, I was 6'4", and Coach Mason will tell you I was 6'4", a buck 45, a buck 50.
Yeah, yeah, you're skinny.
Um, my first hit in college on that scout team, a guy hit me and sent me. I mean, I was flying when he hit me because I was live. You know, I'm a scout team quarterback. They can hit me. I got hit so hard, man, that it made me want to get bigger. It made me want to get in the weight room. But at the time, I didn't understand. I just want to play. You know, kids coming out of high school, they just want to play. Everybody want to play. But then what happened was I went to a JC combine as well. And the guy that runs my SPE camp to this day ran those combines. The same guy,
Yeah.
Coach Papillon. And then what ended up happening was when I went to these camps, my goal was to line up on the best guy. Hey, a lot of guys go to camps. Some of them are not serious. They standing in line. Hey, I had to cut. Coach Mason, I got to get in. These coaches got to see me. So I cut some folks, man, and I ended up having some success at the camp. The guys, we ended up taking over the camp, Cerritos College at that time. And man, we all ended up getting recruited, and we ended up getting out. And I got out, and I was a guy that never played at Cerritos, never played it down, but I went D1 to Western Illinois. The coaches promised me I was going to play quarterback. That's why I committed to Western Illinois. I turned down Texas Tech, who wanted me to play receiver, and they had a guy named Michael Crabtree, who I did not know. and their quarterback was what's the quarterback coach that's in the league now? He's the offensive coordinator, Cliff Kingsbury.
Kingsbury?
Yeah,
Yes,
Kingsbury.
sir.
It was
Yeah.
Kingsbury.
So I turned down Texas Tech to go to Western Illinois because I had a pride issue. I'm a quarterback. I'm a quarterback, man. I'm not switching positions. Not knowing Texas Tech, well, that's the Texas Tech. But I go to Western, coach. My parents take me up there. When I get to school, they got Frisman Jackson, who plays for the Cleveland Browns at the time, receiver. He's waiting up there. They introduced me to him. I see the depth chart, coach. I'm at receiver, coach.
Well,
I said, they lied to me, man. They said, no. That's what we want to talk to you about. Come out here. And he just told me straight up, he said, you don't have a chance to ever go into the NFL as a quarterback right now. He said, but I believe if I work with you this whole semester, the guy that was in the NFL worked with me the whole semester. He said, I believe you'll have a shot at going to the league. I said, are you serious? And so it changed I had to humble myself. And from that standpoint, I vowed, man, that I would always do something to make sure kids had an opportunity to not get overlooked, and as well to give them a platform where they can show scouts what they can do.
That's kind of what started up SPE, right?
Yeah, yes, sir. That's what started out SPE.
so you went through a very different recruiting process than what it's like now, right?
Yes.
Recruiting when you got recruited, what you'd have been like 99, maybe 2000?
Yeah, 99. Yes, sir.
99, 2000.
Different world.
Yeah.
Totally different world.
So kind of talk because we have a lot our audience ends up being a lot older, oddly enough, a lot of parents. Kind of talk about what the recruiting process. I mean, give a small inkling what recruiting process was like when you were getting recruited to go D1 and what it's like today.
Okay, what it was like. So back in the day, we got letters. College coaches would come by. They talk to their head coach. They ask your head coach, do you have any guys here? They say yes or no, depending on what your head coach says. And then at that time, it wasn't a bunch of camps, man. It was just the Nike camp and the Reebok camp.
Yeah.
And you couldn't get in unless you had somebody that could go, unless you were a really powerhouse program. But guess what? Somebody had to advocate to even get me into those camps. Somebody had to get me in. And so the letters, if you got a letter from a school, that mean that they had a lot of interest in you. They really were interested in you. But what I think a lot of the young people don't know now is when they receive an offer, That's nothing more than the old school interest that we got from back in the day when a college coach would give you a letter and the kids posted online saying, I just got offered by such and such. That just means they have interest. Nothing matters until it's pen to paper. If it's not pen to paper, and the main thing what the kids should be asking and the parents, man, this is what you want to do when such and such school offers your child, ask them, can we commit today? Can we commit right now?
Right.
If they say, we got to hold off, that should tell you that that's not a committable offer. A committable offer means an offer that you can sign right away, right then and there on the spot. If you don't have that, then it's just like saying, hey, I got a committable offer. I can say that right now. Hey, man, I got an offer from LSU. I got offer. And I'll just be real with y'all. I got an offer from Virginia Tech, and guess what? I had to go do my own homework at the time, and guess what I found out? They were recruiting a quarterback. Michael Vick had just went to the league named Marcus Vick. I knew that the offer that I had was not committable. You see what I'm saying? Like I had to face reality, man, and a lot of parents and a lot of kids don't know the questions to ask those coaches, and I understand that, but that's what you want to ask. Hey, is this committable? Can my son come here? Can he commit today? Can he sign on the dotted line today? And if you can't, not saying that you can sign because they have a signing day, but if they're serious, they're gonna say, yeah, you can go ahead and commit, and then you commit that verbal commit. Some schools will honor that, but I want to educate some of y'all. I know some kids that committed. The coaches said yes. The kid committed. It doesn't count until you sign, because just like that coach said, you can commit on signing day. If the kid that's on their board that was higher than you and they want that player, that committable offer, they can come right back to you and say, hey, I'm sorry about that, man. That offer is no longer on the table. And that's a real thing. That really does happen to a lot of kids, man.
Yeah, no. I think, you're the guru on this stuff, which is why we wanted to have you on. Really talk about the camps, talk about and help these parents out with a lot of the direction. Are they going the right way? Are they going the wrong way? Before we get into that with the parents and stuff, SPE,
Yes, sir.
because that's Texas, and a lot of these, Virginia, Northern Virginia families, they probably don't know what that is. Talk a little bit about your camp and tell them about it a little bit.
Okay, the SP Elite National Camp, it started in 2014. We started in Texas. Our whole goal when we first started out was to be a national brand where kids can get seen from all over, because I'm from California, so I didn't want to leave anybody out, man. I got a big heart. Trying to make that thing come to a reality, hey, that's a lot harder. And so what I used was social media. I used relationships. I went and looked in the vault. Everybody that was coaching that back in the day, everybody that was playing, I had to go find them. What are we doing? Some guys had children that were playing now. And so now, how do we make this platform successful? By making sure a lot of eyes are paying attention. But our whole goal was to help just one kid, man. If I could help, our whole goal really is, if we can help one kid, we've done our job. If one kid gets some exposure out of it, hey, we've done our job. But we also want to make sure that we keep a lot of the politics out. I'm not saying that other people's platform has politics. I'm just saying what we were trying to do. If I was a nobody and I didn't have an opportunity to line up on that 5-star receiver, and I'm a nobody but I can play, hey, we give that guy that thinks they can go that opportunity. Hey, come out here and show us what you can do, because it's been a lot of diamonds in the rough. I can give you a guy, SP top guy, a guy by the name of Travis Etienne that nobody knew. Guy ran a 4.3 at our camp, one of the fastest men in the country. I'm pretty sure he wanted to go to his home school. He ended up going to Clemson. Now that guy's playing in the NFL. But we gave that guy an opportunity. Did he win an award? He won the fastest man. But hey, it's not all about, people get caught up in, I was MVP, I wasn't, all those different things. The whole thing is have fun and get the exposure that you need. And we also make sure that it's educational. We educate them about the recruiting process. We also give them the opportunity to showcase their talents in various drills, as well as one-on-ones and 7-on-7. But we do 7-on-7 by state. So, if you got Team Virginia, if you got Virginia out here, we'll group them up. We'll group Team Texas up, group Cali up, and hey, they'll go at it. And that platform that we had, it came from somewhere. It was just to give kids an opportunity to just have some fun, be proud of where you're from, and also we give those people, say we got a group of kids that come from Virginia. Hey, you get about 5 unofficial visits while you're here, as well as a camp. So you'll go visit LSU, you'll go visit Texas A&M, you'll go visit PV, you'll go visit Texas Southern, Houston Christian, UT. We've had kids go to those schools, and we've had parents in the past. What's the difference when y'all go? Man, the only thing I can say is what we do as a team and a staff is we make sure that it's not a waste of your time. When you go, you actually do go meet the entire coaching staff. And these coaches set up presentations and they tell them the truth about the recruiting process, whether they like it or not. When you come, if we have kids from Virginia, because we want to send a special invite to those kids, if they come, coach, they're going to those 5 schools on an unofficial visit if they want to.
So I think one thing you kind of spoke about that I really like a lot. Now, there's a few kids I've tried to recommend to come down to your campus. Is you have big names at your camp. It's not like a camp where you don't know who's going to be there. Like you got guys who, and I know stars are a funny thing. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. I understand the issue with stars, but I mean you have guys who.
I know a guy. You give him a few bucks, he'll give you a star.
We do know a guy. There's a guy, and we'll talk off camera who that guy is, and you may know who we're talking about. You've had high trophy winners who've gone, right? Bryce was at your camp, right?
Bryce Young came.
Bryce Young at your camp. I mean, you've had some big names, but you give. I think the thing that I liked about your camp is that you're going to give guys who don't have any exposure at all a chance to, kind of like you got. You're going to get the opportunity to go against a guy who has 35 Division I offers, and if you can show out against that guy and get film against that guy. What's going to happen is it's going to increase you, because all coach has to see is that you cook some like you said, cook some corner who has 5 offers, or you lock some 5-star receiver down, or you're able to you go against a 5-star lineman, you're able to block him, or you're able to get by him. I think that's one of the biggest things, and I know you do a big thing too where you try to interview all the kids, give them social media support as well. So I mean that's something that I really do. I think that's something that and again through your journey that you try to make sure those kids get as well.
Yes, indeed, and our whole big thing is, man, make it my mentors that I work with, that I get a chance to talk to, and they challenge me, man. How do you make it worthwhile for the players and the parents? What are you doing? Why would they want to be a part? So I spend a lot of time, man, making sure, hey, they get interviews. You got kids that might have never got an interview in their whole career because maybe they're not the star player at the team. Maybe they're on the rise. Maybe they're the undiscovered talent, and now they get this interview, and now coaches like his interview skills, makes them want to look more into who this player is. Those are the kind of things that are forgotten with social media. Everybody kind of wants the glory, but also that comes with that. If that coach goes and likes you, you need to have something to offer. Are you a kid that goes to class? Are you a kid that doesn't listen to your coaches? Or are you one that that's one thing. No matter what my situation was, I didn't want to blame my coaches, man. I have a great relationship with all my coaches that I've, whether I liked what they did or not, that's not none of my business. I was a player on the team, and I had to follow the instructions on what the team. My personal views and how I felt, I talked to people privately about that stuff. I didn't try to blast anybody, and we came from that era. We weren't doing that kind of stuff, man. I'm not saying that stuff doesn't go on, but I'm saying you as a parent have to make the best decision for your child. And right now it's transfer you. Everybody's transferring everywhere. And I'm not knocking that either, but I'm just saying, man, there's a lot of stuff going on in football to where when is it going to not be someone else's fault? When is it going to be, hey, I need to get better. I want to get better. And this is what I'm going to do to get better. Or if the situation's not best for you, are you seeking good counsel, or are you just jumping out on impulse, and really you can harm your child, man, by making bad choices.
So coach, how does, I mean, other than any big you guys with 4 or 5 stars, but just guys who are good players maybe aren't known in the national circuit, how do they become part of this camp? How do they get there?
So what we do, we have a staff of coaches where they're online, they're on social media, and what you'll do is the way you're invited is you get an invite. You get an invite. I know every kid that gets invited to the camp. I know them personally. Once they respond back, once they register, the only way you can get invited is on Twitter or through a coach recommendation. So you have to be mindful of who knows who. If Coach Dan tells me, "Hey, Coach Mix, this school right here, hey, I vouch for this coach. I know this coach. Hey, shoot him off, or I think he's pretty good." I'm gonna do it because I trust Coach Dan. I trust you. Y'all been watching football. Y'all know who has what, and that's how it works, man. And then what we do is we let them reap the benefits of the situation. Those kids that have taken the chance to come to our camp to see what we do, like y'all touched on Bryce Young. Y'all realize that the only camp that Bryce Young went to was our camp, the Nike camp, Rivals camp, all the big ones. We were the only, I'd say, mom and pop that he went to. But he went, man, because of word of mouth. Someone told him about the camp that was a high level kid, just like he was. We invited him. But it's not a guarantee they're going to come. And
Right.
I'm not one of those kind of guys that's star crazy. If you're a star guy and you show up to the camp, we are not going to show you special treatment. We don't do that. Your special treatment is going to be on that field. Hey, if you're a 5-star, you need to show it out here because everybody's gunning for you. But what we do, we try to keep everything private. When I say private, none of the kids at the camp know who's who. To give you an example, there was a kid that when he walked in the gym, everybody started laughing because of his size. Coach, that guy walked out with MVP and he already had 25 offers. He was one of the number one corners in the country at the time from California. Nobody knew. They were looking at his size. He didn't give up no reps. He went and played offense and scored 4 touchdowns on offense. Went to USC, played free safety, had a great college career. Now he owns his own business. Shout out to Max Williams.
That's awesome.
Yes, sir.
All right, so bringing it back now, right, to some of the families and the kids who are trying their best this recruiting thing, right, and struggling a little bit. What are some? Because you've seen it all. You're the guru. This is your wheelhouse. What are some of the common mistakes that a lot of these kids, and the parents that are helping them, are making during this process?
I would say, man, the most common mistake that I'm seeing is presentation. Also, not knowing who's who. Like these coaches all talk. All these coaches are friends. So I hear kids say, "I'm D1." I said the same thing. I said I was going to Florida State. I didn't go to Florida State. You don't know who's who. These coaches, the coaches at the school I was at, they got D1 guys all the time. They were a perennial powerhouse for guys that could have went D1 to get to the NFL. So I went to that college because of relationship, and I see a lot of people burning bridges, burning relationships. I don't have a problem with you expressing yourself behind closed doors, but when you get on social media and you start, we need to blast this and blast that, man, the only thing you're doing is hurting yourself and hurting your child. If your coach doesn't want you to train, he doesn't like trainers. Some coaches don't like trainers. What you do in your spare time is your business. But what the problem is, you get online and you want to show coach I'm training. Coach is going to see you training in the game. If you're making plays in the game, hey, he's doing something different. You don't have to put everything on social media. I want coach to see that I'm lifting weights. I want coach to see that I'm in the gym. The coaches are going to know you're in the gym by your performance. When I finally got my opportunity to showcase my skills, I made plays. And if your window is only 4 reps on scout team, you better make 4 reps on scout team good. If your window is, hey man, coach ain't letting me play. Only time he lets me play is when I'm doing 7-on-7. Then you need to make plays in 7-on-7. But the thing is, you cannot cheat the system. That's one thing I've noticed. I know some kids, 7-on-7 is the only way that I can get out. That's not true. That's not true because at the end of the day, you're gonna have to put pads on. And if you can't get off the line of scrimmage, then you're not going to be able to perform. those are my two main things. And all when I say presentation, I'm talking about social media, making sure your social media has your first and last name. How can I find your name and you got your nickname up there? You know,
Right.
all the
Yeah.
coaches are on there. You got your nickname
Right.
up there. And then here's another big thing. Your highlight tape comes on and you got all this profanity going on. The coaches, trust me, they don't the first 3 seconds, they're only watching for the first, I'm gonna say the first 8 seconds. What can you do? They're looking at Dan, could you imagine if you were a coach and you had to look over 3,000 linebackers film?
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you gonna spend time all 6 minutes of Johnny making plays? I want to see, man, show me what you can do right away.
Right.
I want to be wild right away. So I'm seeing highlight tapes that don't look right. I'm seeing you turn it into this YouTube video, which, hey, I'm not saying it's bad they're not posting on YouTube, but if you're trying to get a job and you're sending a coach that, they don't want to hear all that. Your favorite rap song, your favorite country song, they don't want to hear that, man. They want to evaluate the talent. And yeah, they can turn it on mute, but what you don't know is this is your presentation. Your name is behind it. This is basically your resume.
Well, I think the thing that you're kind of harping on, and and me and Dash have had this conversation with players we've had, and I coach with a gentleman that told me your first two plays on there better be amazing, and also every time you make a tackle, it's not a highlight. Every time you get a 3-yard run, it's not a highlight. It's not a highlight. No. Your highlights need to be explosive plays, and because, like you said, and I think you termed it perfectly. College coaches are going to watch about the first 10 seconds.
Correct.
Because the amount of film that they get, I mean, I'm sure you've seen it, right? Because I know you have a good relationship with Coach Ogeron. You have other good coaches that you have good relationships with. The amount of film that they have to watch on recruits, I mean, could take days.
Yes.
And they just don't have time for that. So your first 10 plays better be explosive.
Correct.
Yeah.
They're looking for explosiveness. They're looking for can you play? And then another thing I'm sorry I left out is I know a lot of people don't like talking about measurables. They care about measurables. I know because I was a product of measurables because I was 6'4", 200 pounds. They gave me an opportunity because they said this guy has potential.
And you ran that 4.340.
And I ran a 4. Yes, I ran.
Come on, that's a good one.
That helped.
They
were like, hey, what can we do with this guy? What can we do with him? You know, why would you want to be with somebody that can't do anything for you?
Right.
Makes no sense. But you're asking. But I'm asking for the world. I'm asking for, hey, why LSU doesn't want me? Why Florida State? Why Virginia Tech? Why West Virginia doesn't want me? But you got to have something to offer too, man. And parents. I know a lot of helicopter parents out there, and I'm gonna tell you the truth, man. If they're worried about this parent, you could affect their recruiting, man. And I'm not saying don't be in their lives. I think it's a good thing for mom, dad to be in their children's lives. But at some point, let me give you a great example. I know y'all have seen this. Have you seen at a game, the kid's playing in the game, and the coach is trying to coach him up, and the dad is too at the same time?
Yeah.
Dad's up on the fence. Dad's on the fence. Dad's leaning over the fence. He's not even in the bleachers anymore. He's not even in the bleachers.
Hey, even worse, I seen Dad in the end zone. I seen Dad in the end zone with the camera. I'm like, dang, man. And I got it. You got some dads that got some connections. They just want to be on the field. But man, coaches are paying attention to all of that. They're like, man, I don't want to deal with this headache.
I think me and Dash talks about a ton, and I'd imagine you'd agree with this. For D1, they look at the three things, right? Look at size, strength, speed, and if you lack either one of those, the other two better be elite. If you're not big, then you better be lightning fast, or if you're not fast, you better be a giant. Like, and it's unfortunate, you know. And another thing, I may have talked about this before, but again, I had a gentleman I coached with for a while, and he said, unfortunately, and it's tough to tell parents, sometimes you're just a good high school football player, and that's okay.
Yes.
And that's okay. especially when you talk about D1.
But yeah, I was going to say that
Yeah.
there's a place to play.
Yes,
The
1,000%.
problem is people are going on these, and look, they want to. At the end of the day, it's not offending us. I mean, they could go and spend their weekends and the summers driving up and down the East Coast. If they want to, it's fine. But if don't get frustrated, don't get mad, because like you said, the answer's in front of you. If there's no elite size, no elite strength, no elite speed, no film,
Right.
0 for 4, and then you're like, why the hell? We've been to every camp. What do you mean? Why aren't you getting any offers? What are you mad about? There might be a school for you. You might be a good ball player. Maybe the circumstances weren't right, and you didn't get any balls thrown your way, right? I mean, the O-line didn't hold up. I mean, there's reasons for stuff sometimes, but if you don't have the speed, you might need to go down a level now. Stop complaining about not being at a Power 5 or Division 1. Maybe go to Division 2 or Division 3. But some people are so hell-bent on that Division 1 scholarship offer,
right,
that they're actually missing out on other potential opportunities.
and Doris, that's great you mentioned that, because a lot of people don't realize, man, what's wrong with D3 offer? What's wrong with NAI? Because last time I checked, you can get a lot of money and school paid for at those schools and still play. Because who wants to sit on the bench, and you can go check it? Who wants to sit on the bench and say, hey, I'm at Alabama, but I'm on the bench. I'm not playing. I did 4 years on the sideline. Nobody, man. You want to play, you get better by playing, man. And so many people are caught up in the logo instead of getting caught up. My dream school, man, to this day, is the school that wanted me. Cerritos really wanted me. Harbor College really wanted me. Western Illinois really wanted me. West Virginia really wanted me. West Virginia wanted me so bad, man. That's the only reason why I know about West Virginia to this day, man, because the coaches that were on those staffs, man, they really, really, really wanted me, man. And why can't those dream schools be those schools that really want you? I see kids commit to schools, and you got to remember, it's a business. Coach, you realize they are recruiting third string, fourth string. They're trying to build a team, special teams. They're trying to build a team. And I know some coaches, they recruit the other guy because they don't want to play against him. And they say, hey, I'm glad he's on our team. And you committed to that school, and really all they were trying to do is, hey, it's a game of chess. But at the end of the day, go where you're wanted, man. Go where, I don't care if it's D3, I don't care if it's NAIA. If they're breaking down your door and they really, really want you, why not go over there, man, and see what it's about? Why go somewhere where you're not wanted? If it makes sense, if I'm making sense to you.
Now, other things that I and you can tell me that things that and I'm not a college coach or a scout, but I look at it and I say, ooh, maybe they shouldn't do that. A couple things. One is a kid will have a post saying he performed well at a camp. That's fine, right? Performed well at the camp. Maybe some highlights that maybe some aren't highlights, to your point, Mesa, but some are highlights. But then they go on and it's just, I look at it kind of like cross-eyed. They'll tag about 300 people. Every coach at every school is tagged in it. But to me, that says what you were saying earlier, like you don't care. You're just a mercenary. Like you don't have any kind of feelings for one school or the other school. Like you're pretty much writing every school in the country at this point, and you're tagging them all in this thing. I think some in my opinion, maybe I'm wrong. You can tell me what you think, but some coaches might look at that and go, "All right, we're good. We're not gonna look at you're tagging every coach in the country."
You're correct, and it's crazy. I wish kids would and parents would. Children and parents would do more of their research. Like, why not look for the fit, the scheme? Like, well, what does your son do well? If your son has a strong arm and he's a quarterback, but he doesn't have great feet, why is he trying to get a scholarship from a school that runs speed option? Like, I just want an opportunity. No, if you really want an opportunity, look up some of these schools and what offenses they run and see if you fit their scheme. And then if you do fit their scheme, why not go to a camp? I really love what some of these guys decisions they're making, because they're going to schools. Hey, it might not be a big time SEC school or Power 5. They're going, hey, coach, I took this one, man, because it's 1AA. And coach, man, they really, really like coach. They really, really see where I fit in. Man, I like hearing those stories. Like, hey, coach, I went D2, man, because in D2 they was on me. The whole coaching staff came to visit me. Hey, I went D3, coach, because I heard they had a billboard for me. Hey, my grades are good, man, so my whole education is gonna be paid for. Like, what's wrong with
Yeah.
last time I checked, there's some D3 schools out there. I remember when I was in school, I remember getting a letter from a school called Trinity. I didn't even know anything about Trinity. It was D3. Coach, that's one of the best prestigious academic schools in Division III football. What would have been wrong with that, man? You know?
Yeah. I like what you said, and I think that should be a mantra. Your dream school should be the school that wants you.
Yeah.
That should be your dream school. Not, I mean,
Yeah.
don't get caught up with the logo, don't get caught up with other stuff, right? The school that wants you should be the school that makes you have like that's where you should want to go. The school
Right.
that actually and to your point, Dash, tagging 1,000 programs also says like you said, Taiwan, you're not doing your research. You're just
No.
throwing it all out there, hoping somebody tags you back and being like, what school would be the best fit for me? And I have this conversation with my own daughter, who's but I always tell her there is a right school for everybody.
Right.
Stop thinking about. I mean, this even goes for Dash and I go to a school that a lot of kids have these big dreams of where they want to go to, and there's nothing wrong with that. But
Right.
that school may not be the best school for you. If
Right.
me and Taiwan grew up in a place that has 50 million people. A
Yeah.
lot of guys leave and go to school in, I don't know, go to school in Boise. They're like, I can't survive out here. Like everything goes at 9 o'clock at night. Like I
Yes.
can't survive. Right. So
Right.
I mean, look at the places that make sense for you. Right. I mean, go the place that's gonna make the most sense for you.
Man, and then I'll tell y'all too what coaches. Here's some of those tidbits, man. These coaches give other players from your region an opportunity, and what you don't know is you have an opportunity, and the kids that are behind you or the players that are behind you, those coaches are paying attention, and if they took a chance on a guy from this region, and it didn't work out, they're really reluctant to digging in that pot again because all they're basing on what happened last time, the last kid, and man, if California gave me a bad taste, Texas gave me a bad taste, they get homesick. They always go home. You know how I know? Because when I went to Illinois, we have 7 California players on there, and we were always trying to get home on holidays, trying to go home. and the problem was if we went home, they got to go hunt us down and bring us back to school.
Yeah.
I know because they had to go bring me back. I'm hanging out with my buddies, and then the people I'm staying with, they're like, "Don't you got to go back to school?" I was like, "Yes, ma'am." Why are you not packed and ready to go back to school? Because I'm hanging out with my boys. And these are things they're taking an investment on you, man. They're investing money into you, and how are they going to say, "Hey, I had a good investment with this kid"? And one thing I can say, I'm not saying that I made all the right choices and decisions. I bumped my head a couple times, but one thing those coaches I all have a relation with, they all can say, "Hey, he's a stand-up guy." They can say that. Hey, did I do some immature things because I was immature? Yes, but one thing I did, I wouldn't have been able to keep these relationships I've had with them to this all the way till now. I said, man, relationships, they matter. Hey, coach, you know what? Coach, I just wasn't good enough. Hey, coach, I wasn't ready at that time. I was too immature. What is it that you're doing? I love how you said you're tagging all the schools. What's that about, man? Why are you tagging 1,000 schools?
Yeah.
Tag the schools that really you think you have a chance of going to.
Yeah, and another thing is, and Aiden did a really good job of this. Ramin's Dash's son. He did a really good job of not burning bridges, because you never know what coach you're going to talk to. That maybe you got to transfer out, maybe that coach talk to somebody else. And that's one thing Aiden did really well is he made sure anybody who contacted him, he made sure to keep a positive relationship with, which is something really commendable. Obviously, Dash was also key in his recruiting, but they kind of made sure that you don't burn bridges, because if you go and you string another coach along, or you don't talk to him, like you said, these coaches all know each other. It's not like the coaching community for the most part, especially in college, is relatively small, and there's always a coach on the staff, and there's another coach. Like they're usually separated by like two or three levels, And if they're like, "Oh, you're recruiting that kid," I don't know about that kid. That kid does this or that kid did that, or that kid, kind of blew me off. That's really going to hurt your recruiting process as well.
Yes, that you're correct. If you're a person that doesn't do a good job keep creating relationships, it's gonna show up, man. I've heard kids say some bad things about a coach, and a coach act like he didn't hear him, and coach end up going to go, nah, that's not a kid you want. He's a knucklehead. They're gonna put a stain on your name, and guess what? That stain travels all the way to the NFL. Those NFL coaches are friends. They're all buddies, man, and you want to just make sure. And I've known some have been just innocent. If you got a kid that's an introvert that doesn't talk a lot, some of those coaches want to know what's going on with this kid, and it might not be anything, but it's just, man, you're constantly getting recruited and evaluated, so you always want to be mindful of that and make sure, man, what kind of representation are you having for yourself? Some kids. They got so much stuff going on now. You got agents, you got street agents, you got handlers, and I'm not saying any of it's bad at all. You got 707 coach, you got your high school coach. It doesn't matter. What about you? At the end of the day, none of those people can play for you when you get to the next level.
Right.
What do you do when the bullets are live? Are you Bryce Young was a baller when he was little. Bryce Young was a baller when he got to high school. When he got to college, do you not think he had to compete? He had to beat out the quarterback that got drafted this year. He had to beat that guy out for the job.
But to your point, and Mason, you might have heard this once. A coach told us once that there was a kid at a camp and on a visit, and they were bad mouthing their coach, and they were like, oh yeah, I guess the coach was, team wasn't doing that well, whatever. It's a high school kid at a college camp, and he's at the college, and the coach is talking to him about his high school, whatever. And the kid is like, yeah, my coach stinks, kind of railing on his own high school coach. Well, right away, that college coach, A, he didn't want anything to do with that kid. And B, when he went and told that coach, he told the head coach, he was like, hey, heads up, these guys are bad mouthing you and doing all this other stuff. He's like, we won't be making him an offer. So like you said, it goes around.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And you would recommend some guys, Mason, we've talked about this, a prospect that we knew in this area who ended up getting a bunch of offers, but he declined to run. He had the measurables in a lot of areas. Maybe he was worried the speed would be kind of exposed a little bit. He had the highlights. He had the other measurables. Speed, it was kind of hit or miss. So he declined to run at several camps. Would you recommend that for some?
I would say be wise. And if I was in his shoes, when I say be wise, hey, coach, my hammy's a little tight.
Right.
Wait, huh? Yeah,
right.
Coach, it's kind of tight. And the reason why and I'll just share this experience, man, that nobody knew about on y'all show. I got a chance. Frank Winters, man, shout out to Coach Frank Winters. He was with the LA Avengers. I mean, remember the Avengers, the
arena team.
Arena team, yeah. So I got a chance to try out. They wanted me to run the 40. I was coming off a torn hamstring. I know I wasn't gonna run good, so I didn't. I scratched it. Bench press, Coach Dan, I wasn't working out. I'm just telling you the truth. Wasn't working out. When they invited me to a private workout, and guess what? I was doing good. Coach Dan, these are all my professional dreams at the time. They said, Taiwan, you're doing good. I ran all my routes on the right side because my hamstring was still kind of hurting a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm showing out in camp, right? They say, hey, we need you to go do the bench press. Oh man, coach, my shoulder is a little sore. So you're not gonna run? All they know is I did one-on-ones. So here's how they got me. They said he called Wasa Sawinga out the back. He had just got released from the Saints at the time. It was either the Saints or the Dolphins, one of the two. Wasa Sawinga comes out the back, slow, buff. He been in the weight room. He fast. He said every time Taiwan goes, I want you to run your routes on the left side now. I want you to guard him. I said, all right, coach, no problem. Coach, the man pushed me with that grown man strength, that NFL weight room. I'm falling down when I'm running my routes. He's jamming me all in my chest. He's like, hey, young blood, I think you need about a year of rehab and weight room, man, and then come back out here. But you know they still offered me I was gonna be on the practice squad for a year, and I just had to be real with them, man. So I said I don't want to waste your time, you know, because I got out there on a referral. I said I don't want to waste your time, man. And they offered me free housing, but my contract was gonna be like $400 a game.
Oof.
And you know, I just at the time I needed more money than that. And at the time, those dreams was kind of fading because the injuries were starting to pile up. You know, so you know, I never told nobody that story. It's in my book though, but just wanted to share y'all, man. That you know, I have no regrets about what the game of football did for me, man. I always had an opportunity. Somebody gave me a chance. You have to know because it is who you know. I'm gonna tell y'all parents that too. Yes, time and chance. NFL, time and chance. NBA, time and chance.
Hey, Taiwan, it's good always seeing you, man. You know,
Yes, indeed.
I mean, we have plans. I mean, I know you want me to come out and help out the camp.
Yeah. Hey, everybody from VA, you got a special invite. You'll start receiving an inbox of an invitation of the camp from here all the way up until January. You'll start. So players, man, keep your inbox, your DMs open. You'll start to get an invite. And the reason why, man, we're reaching out, we get kids that come from all over the country. Why not VA? I heard VA got ballers.
You got quite a few from Maryland, didn't you? You got some St. Francis kids for the last few years, right?
Yeah.
You got quite a few from there. So, but yeah, I'm glad you're giving back. Like, so you always been a good guy. I mean, you know, again, every time I see you, it's weird. I still see that little skinny kid. But it's great having you on. We'll talk soon. Yeah, and so I mean, it's great having you on, and we'll talk soon.
Hey, thank you, man. Shout out to all Hitches. Hands down, the best podcast in the game.
There it is. Coach Mixon knows his stuff. Listen to him.
Yes, indeed.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Hey, thanks for having me, y'all. I appreciate it.
Yeah, hold on, Tom.
Talk soon. All right, welcome back. And the man delivered.
He did. Just kind of pinning some of the really good ones they had in there. One, I think one of the most important things he said maybe in there was, if you get an offer and you say, okay, I want to sign today, and if they say, oh, easy there, cowboy, may not be a committable offer.
Right.
Yeah.
Call their bluff.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Coach Smith, you have a pen?
Yes, I'd like to sign right now.
I'd like to sign this right now.
Yeah. And if they say no, or until pen is put to paper, it is not the one. And the other one that, you know, I think we both kind of harped on, thought was really good, is your dream school be the school that wants you. Right. That should be your dream school. You know, stop with, you know, stars in your eyes, but, you know, your dream school should be the school that wants you. And I can't emphasize that. And that's actually true for, I talked a little bit, you know, when we talked to him before. That's true whether you're going to play sports or not. Your dream school is the school that you get into. That should be your dream school. You know, we'd all like to go to Harvard. We'd all like to go to NYU, right? We'd all like to go to.
Speaking of which, shout out Dalen Jones.
Dalen Jones, yeah, congratulations, Dalen Jones on
Harvard.
On committed to Harvard too, and not an offer.
That's right. That's right. He said, "Where's the pen? I want to sign." And they said, "Right here, sir. Here's your pen."
Exactly.
So Dalen Jones, you got the real deal right there.
The other thing I would like to emphasize too is, like you said, he does a fantastic camp with big names that go to his camp, and if you do something,
Bryce Young.
If you do something that is not good, work out well for you, they're not going to publicize that.
Yeah.
If you're a wide receiver and you're on a 4.9 40, he's going to go ahead and he's going to close that book and pretend it never even happened. So,
which, by the way, just for, I mean, you know, we laughed at it when he said it.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of kids that run a 4.8 40 in Northern Virginia. And I get it. I would be happy with that time too. I would be ecstatic with a 4.8 40.
Yeah.
But I'm not trying to play receiver at Division I school.
No. Right. You have to have elite speed.
Like, come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's okay.
Unless you're Megatron and you're 6'6", 230 pounds, right?
And there's a school for you.
There's a school for you.
It's just not one of the ones that on that initial list that you created.
Right.
I mean, sorry. It just is what it is.
And something else he talked about is when you're making that list, especially when you're playing sports, you know, if I'm a big bruising running back, maybe I don't want to go to school that runs the air raid.
Yes, right.
Right? I mean, think about where you're
Right.
going. Go to a place that you think is gonna benefit you.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
Right. You're Dan Marino. Don't go play somewhere who wants the option.
Run the triple option. Right.
Right. Don't run the option.
Right.
You're Marino.
Right.
So good stuff. Hopefully the parents got something out of it. Kids got something out of it. I think we got something out of it. Listen to that. And you might be at the camp helping them out.
You might be at the camp. Yeah. Actually, you might be at the camp if you want to go, from what I understand.
We can get a good T-bone down in Houston, can't we?
Yeah. What he asked was, well, one, he asked me if I wanted to coach individual positions, which, you know, I miss coaching, so maybe. The other thing he said was, if we get a Virginia contingent out there, he'd like to go and to kind of cover the camp and interview kids there, and
that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I can't. You know, we're not gonna run drills or anything.
No, we just be hanging out there. Maybe I actually said maybe able to talk to little Ed Orgeron.
Yeah,
that'd be fun. That'd be fun.
Coach O.
Coach O, right?
Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah.
Have
Maybe,
Coach O
maybe you can wear Raider gear and we can talk to Lane Kiffin.
Yeah, Lane Kiffin. He loves his time with the Raiders. Him and Randy Moss both.
Yeah.
Yeah. So awesome stuff, Coach Mixon. You know, talking about the camps and everything. And so if you're and it's upper echelon talent we're talking about here.
Yeah.
Right. Let's keep that in mind. And we got a couple guys in mind.
Yeah.
Not everybody. And we got a couple guys in mind. So keep an eye out for those messages,
those invites, and if you think you're an upper echelon guy, you don't think you're getting stars, go out there and compete against those guys.
That's right. That's
you
right.
May,
think you're being overlooked.
And you and I have both coached guys, and I can think of a few in particular that have gone to these camps and come back and been like, okay, I get it now.
Yes,
I get it now. Why Penn State's not knocking on my is not currently knocking on my door.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
You got to see it firsthand sometimes, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's important to be able to see that stuff firsthand. And then you, like you said, then you get it.
Right. Then you get it.
So this week, Mason, as we come to a close here, on what is it? The 27th, 28th. Next weekend's 4th of July. Isn't that crazy?
Oh, makes me sad at the time because 4th of July, I was thinking is winding down the summer because I'm thinking we're getting so bad.
Stop. It's not winding down the summer. You son of a gun. Don't say that.
I always feel like it is.
It's kicking off the summer.
I feel like we're at the halfway point. I feel like we're coming to the half.
I do feel like, yeah. I mean, I'm with you kind of, which I'm trying to ignore that. Yeah, by the time like Kobayashi and what's the other guy's name? And Chestnut.
Joey Chestnut.
And Chestnut are eating those hot dogs and those Nathan's dogs in Coney Island. It's the middle of summer. It's the MLB All-Star game.
It's the MLB All-Star game.
It's the middle.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be the middle. We just got out of school. I mean, the human brain needs rest, as we know.
Don't worry. We'll be on year-round school in about 2 years. So don't you?
Yeah, that's true. I'll be retired hopefully by then. Well, buddy, good stuff.
Yeah.
And we got some fun shows coming. We got the wrestling show coming up.
Wrestling show.
We're gonna do some top summer movies, maybe.
Summer movies. Yeah, we talked about that the other day. Yeah.
So we got some fun stuff coming. Gimmicky stuff coming up. The gimmicks.
But you know what? There are people out there who have told me they like those shows better than sometimes the football shows.
Sometimes they do. It's the dog days of summer shows.
It is the dog days of summer.
Dog days of summer, baby.
It's Beverly Hills 90210, the summer episodes.
Yes, or Saved by the Bell when they went to.
Rossini's.
Yeah.
Mr. Rossini, was that it?
Yeah, it was his daughter was the wife.
Leah Remini. Leah Remini.
Yeah, that's right. Everybody loves Raymond.
Yeah.
Not everyone loves Raymond. King of Queens.
King of Queens.
King of Queens. That's right. All right, buddy. Well, good stuff. And let's do it all again in a week.
Yep. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Same time. Let's go. All right, from Dash and Dan, all Hitches. We'll see you guys next time.
See ya.